Hi, Emmanuel here with T2S, and T2S stands for Transform to Succeed. If you have not subscribed to our website, this is the time. If you have not enrolled into our program, Cloud and DevOps combined, this is the time to do so, and I'll be so glad to join you on your journey to transform your future and life. Today, in this video, I'll be talking about. I'm gonna talk about connecting my note pad here. I'm talking about what we call as. Just give me a moment here. What we call as AWS IoT core. And IoT stands for Internet of Things here. Internet of Things. So this is a service which will allow you to manage your devices or connect your devices to your cloud services. So you may have a cell phone here. Let's assume that this is a cell phone. So we assume that this is a cell phone. So you have a cell phone, and sometimes you may have a tablet. This is a tablet. It's a tablet, and this could be like an iPad or any device you may have. And this could be like your car. This could be like also your car. So you have your car here. So you have your car. There's our tires. And then this is your cloud. This is your AWS cloud, your account. And then what you want to do is you want to connect this to your services that you host on AWS. For instance, an example could be like a tracking service, and which could be like a location service. And location service, it's also a service, a resource that you have on AWS, and you wanna connect those devices to that specific service, meaning that you're gonna have to configure. So you're gonna configure something on these devices, right? These devices, which will enable the devices to communicate with whatever service that you have. And in this case, it's going to be, for example, a tracking a device, or you want to make sure that the applications that you host on AWS are the same that you would like to host on your cell phone or your employees' cell phones or computers or devices and something like that. So that's how you do it. So what are the key components then when it comes to IoT? What would be the key components that will be part of this? So we're talking about the key components here, and I'm gonna name just a few here. Then we'll look at this specific service on our management console. So the key components here are like the device. The first one would be a device gateway. So you have device gateway. And the device gateway, this is what manages the connections between your devices and the AWS IoT core, right? So we're gonna that's not the component number one. And then you also have protocols on how you can connect your devices. It could be HTTP, or it could be MQTT, and I'll show you what this means. It could be a WebSocket protocol. So you can use a variety of protocols here. I want you to just remember that this is you need a device gateway. That's number one, and number two, you're gonna need a message broker, and a message broker, that's a feature component that routes messages between devices and applications. So it's like the middle man, to say, which enables the devices that are connected to your account to communicate among themselves and also communicate with the applications. The next thing is the device shadow. And a device shadow, this is a virtual representation of each connected device, okay, storing its last reported state and allowing apps to interact with devices even when they are offline. So it's kind of like a caching type of feature here. So your device, let's say your device is offline, so that the latest state that the device was in before going offline, your cloud resources will still capture that. So and then that's which is great. And number four, you have rules engine. And then what these do, they evaluate inbound messages published in AWS IoT core, and then these rules will trigger actions like data transformation, storage in databases, or invoking AWS Lambda functions. So here you can integrate into that. You can integrate Lambda, and that's another. I have another video on the Lambda, so you can go back to Lambda and make sense of what it is. So you can integrate Lambda functions here. And number five, you have the registry. As it says, as it sounds, it organizes your resources that are associated with each device, and then it keeps like a searchable index of all of your devices that are connected to the AWS IoT. And lastly, you have security. Security in cloud or in IT in general. Think of security everywhere. So make sure that you implement security on every level of your infrastructure. And this enforces authentication and encryption at all points of connection. So every point of connection, make sure that you have a layer of security attached to that. So you're gonna provide some fine-grained permissions to control device access. So make sure about that. So the key components: device gateway, you have the message broker, you have the device shadow, you have the rules, you have the registry, and then finally you have security. Let's go. First of all, before we go to the management console here, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna share with you some of the use cases. So when do you need this here, IoT core? When do you use it? Some of the use cases, there are many use cases for this. One of them, you may be familiar with this smart home automation. This is one very practical way to use this. Devices like smart lights, thermostats, security cameras, they are all connected. Like I will just write this down here. So you have like smart lights. You have something like a thermostat. So these they are connected. These devices are connected to the cloud and then to something like IoT core, depending on what cloud computing platform this company is using. And then the last one would be something like I would say like security cameras. I think I mentioned that before. Security cameras. Yeah. So those are some of the examples, and another one could be like industrial. You can have industrial IoT. A lot of big companies, big firms, they use this. Their cellulars connected to to their cloud platform environment, and companies like Uber, like they use some of these too, and then like you have rental companies, you have big companies, or even governments, or government agencies. They also use this and more. Okay. One of the projects that I've done, I've worked on with my students, and it's also available to you on our YouTube channel. It's building a tracking app. So you build a tracking app. So you build a tracking app. So using IoT core, using something like using also the location service, using Lambda, using CloudFront. All of these are services that we've used, and the other one, I think, also Cloud Formation. So these are services that you use. So you can this company is using that to take care of all of this, using these services to create a tracking app, and then you connect this tracking app to you add your devices, and these could be like trucks or any big vehicles to track. So this is another use case of this application. Let's go to the management console. This is not a demo on how you can use this, but it's more of like a high level overview of the AWS IoT core. Let's go to our management console. So what you do here, you're gonna just look for this, and you see that there's so you see a kind of like a list of IoT services here. But what we want to do is to go to the IoT core. And so we are here. See here, what it does, it securely connects, tests, and manages your IoT devices. And to the left here, so I'm gonna need to close one of my windows. Sorry about that. Okay, so to the left here, you have connect device. Okay, you have connect device here. So if you click here, it's gonna give you. You see, this is one way to. We talked about when we're looking at the key components. I talked about the one of the device gateway protocols. This is one of them. Okay, that's one of them, and this is how it works. So you connect first. You securely connect individual devices, and then you can create templates to connect many devices to this service if you want. And then next, you're gonna have to test to make sure that it's working okay, and using this protocol here to help you test. And then the last thing that you do is just to manage. So that's how it works. Easy, right? And here you can look at the cost calculator, and you have the IoT core pricing details here. You can read that on your own, and that's kind of like the process here. Click on the documentation. Here you have the link here to the documentation. Then you can just familiarize with this technology here. So you have this one here, AWS IoT Core. Then you have some other components like the data, which takes care of processing your data. You also have the jobs data. Here you have the device advisor. You have the fleet hub. This is kind of like where you see, meaning that, what I want to say, it's this will allow you to build standalone web applications for monitoring the health of your device fleet. Then you have the secure tunneling here. And you want to learn more, you just go here and you can get a little bit of more ideas of how you can use this. And you want to read more, just keep reading this. This is a kind of actions that you can attach there. Let me go back here. So you just play with this, read this, but I'm gonna ask you to take a look at my video, which I will attach, which is attached as part of the notes for this high-level overview of what IoT Core means and how you can use it. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this has been very helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next video. And thanks again, and God bless.